When I was about to floss my teeth, I saw that there was no floss left. Mom, I ran out of floss. Can you buy some for me? Why should I? Just use your hair instead. What? I gaped at her words while she explained that there was no need to spend money because those two were practically the same. Hi, I'm Selena, 16 years old. You may not believe this, but my parents are the most stingy people in the world, and I am not even exaggerating. Although with our average monthly income, we could be classified as middle class in America. However, they still chose an extremely stingy lifestyle. Almost all of our family's food was purchased with coupons. Every day, my parents would tell me to cut out the coupons from the magazines they brought home instead of letting me do homework. To save money on electricity, each of us was only allowed to open the refrigerator once a day. Mom even installed a countdown timer in front of his door. Every time we opened it, we only had 24 seconds to find the item we wanted. If the time was over, the alarm would ring. It's crazy, isn't it? It was like a race for us every time we opened the fridge. And one of the worst things is that every weekend, my dad would take the whole family to the car wash. Don't be fooled, we were not that clean. The truth is, after putting a coin in the vacuum cleaner and having the car cleaned, Dad would wait a few minutes, then call the staff. Sorry, can you help me open the dustbin of the vacuum cleaner? One of my wife's earrings got inside. The employee quickly followed his request. Of course, there was no earring. He was just making an excuse to get them to open the vacuum's trash bin. He wanted to take the coins as well as valuables from the previous cars that were sucked in by it. Despite the smoke and the unpleasant smell of garbage, we still had to rummage through the trash with bare hands. In order to hide that from the staff, Dad even covered for us while shouting, "Have you found the earrings?" After we had picked up all the valuables, Mom would shout back, "Found it!" However, we were soon exposed by the staff there. They all looked at us with disgusted eyes. It made me so ashamed. No matter how many times I protested against it, my parents didn't care. One night, when I went to the kitchen to look for water, I saw my parents were secretly doing something. Out of curiosity, I crept closer to them. Turns out, they were pouring tap water into empty bottles and putting them in the fridge. That will save $400 per month on water bills. Dad was elated while Mom expressed concern. Are you sure Selena won't find out? Don't worry, I've applied a layer of transparent nail polish around the cap. This way, when you open the bottle, you'll hear the familiar opening sound. She certainly won't find out. I couldn't believe it. My parents had been lying to me for so long. During that time, I was developing a crush on James. We met each other in a math class and our relationship was very good. I believed he liked me too. Then once, when I was with my family at a small restaurant, I happened to find out that James was a waiter there. He seemed very happy to see me while I was terrified. What if he found out about my parents' stinginess? James was blissfully unaware of that and happily waited for us to order. Under Dad's stern gaze, we didn't dare to order expensive food and let him decide for us. First, he ordered 3 glasses of water and asked James to put some lemon in them. Then he told us to get the free sugar packets on the table to make lemonade. It's great, isn't it? We still have lemonade without spending too much. Dad proudly told everyone, but Mom was the only one approved of that. James looked shocked and I just wanted to dig a hole to bury myself. After that, Dad read the menu very seriously. James saw that and enthusiastically introduced him to all of the restaurant's best dishes. After a while, Dad ordered 3 sandwiches, the cheapest in the restaurant. "Give us lots of tomatoes and lettuce," he asked James. At that moment, my face changed color. I tried to convince Dad to call something more expensive, but he flatly refused. I could only lower my head in shame, not daring to look at my crush. After we finished our meals, my parents even put all the free sugars on the table into their bags. By this point, James couldn't stand it anymore. "Oh my God, Selena! Your family is stingy!" He yelled and left. It made me depressed for a long time. But again, Mom and Dad didn't seem to care. Ugh! This is driving me crazy. Sometime later, my dad happily informed the whole family that he had just been promoted. We were very happy for him until Mom said, "So we will have to invite your colleagues for a celebration?" Her words made him dramatically pause, his face full of worry. I knew he dreaded an expensive party. A bold thought flashed through my head. It was my chance to give them a lesson. "Let me help organize this party. I promise you can save up 5 times the usual." Although I was quite vague about my plan, when Mom and Dad heard that it would save tons of money, they immediately agreed. A few days later, I convinced Dad to organize a barbecue party. After that, I took him to a secondhand shop selling BBQ grills. As I expected, although there are many different types, Dad went for the cheapest one even though it didn't look safe. Are you sure with your choice, Dad? Yep. My dad was elated to buy a BBQ at such a great price, but I knew he would regret it soon. On the day of the party, all of my dad's colleagues came to congratulate him. In the kitchen, my parents were preparing food for the party. I casually made a suggestion for them. How about we mix the expired biscuits with leftover beef and bread? It'll make the meat look bigger and save us even more money. That's my child! To make sure the guests don't notice the difference in the meat, they tasted it first to check and were extremely satisfied with that plan. As the party started, everyone happily chatted and waited for the food to be cooked. However, when I was grilling the meat, suddenly my dad's cheap BBQ released black smoke. Boom! A deafening explosion terrified everyone and made them run in panic. Dad quickly brought the fire extinguisher to put out the fire and put everything under control. It's okay, it's just a small accident. My dad tried to reassure everyone. But as soon as he said that, Dad and Mom suddenly acted strange. They felt severe stomach pain and took turns running to the toilet. The party quickly turned into a disaster. Other people started taking turns running to the toilet as well. Dad's boss asked me, "What's happening?" I think mixing expired biscuits and moldy bread into the beef was a bad idea after all. What? You know, to save more money. My parents did that because this party ain't worth spending too much on. The guests were extremely furious after hearing that. They immediately left our house. After more than 7 hours of being tormented by abdominal pain, my parents finally got better. However, both of them were exhausted from having to constantly run in and out of the toilet. Not only that, Dad was reprimanded for almost making the company's members hospitalized. He was suspended from promotion and had to go through a probationary period. That incident taught my parents an appropriate lesson. Now, they've become less stingy and my life's also getting better because of that. Saving is a great thing, but hurting others because of that is not good at all.
Hello! Vicky is back! In the previous episode, thanks to my wonderful boyfriend Eric, I became much more confident. I no longer have low self-esteem or hatred for my vitiligo skin condition. And it was also him who helped me become a celebrity and have the opportunity to model for a top fashion company. But since then, my life has been turned upside down. The more I became famous, the more distance there was between me and my boyfriend. We often had conflicts and arguments. The climax was when I was driven home by my manager, Julian. Eric witnessed the scene and got extremely jealous. It was very hard to stop him from attacking Julian. That night, we had a big argument. "Are you really going to leave me for that rich guy? How can you change so quickly?" "Stop it, Eric. I haven't changed. It's you who is overanalyzing things." "That's ridiculous, Vicky. You're just trying to justify yourself," Eric yelled, then angrily walked away, leaving me helpless. I really loved him and didn't want us to break up, but I wouldn't make up with him first because obviously Eric was in the wrong. So, from that day on, the two of us were in a cold war. No one was willing to talk to the other. Also, because of my love affairs, I became distracted from work. That day, during the model selection session for a new collection, I didn't focus and made many basic mistakes. When the designer read the names of the selected models, she stopped at my name and expressed her displeasure. "Vicky, congratulations on being selected." "Thank you." "Don't thank me. Be grateful for your skin. That's the only thing that makes me choose you over the other girls. Today, you performed horribly. Even though I was selected, after hearing that comment, I didn't feel happy at all. Julian saw that, and he was also upset. After the shoot, Julian decided to have a private talk with me. I sadly told him everything that happened. Leave him. You should focus on your career. It's more important for your future. Julian spoke to me in a determined voice. No, Eric is very important to me. I love him. But in the days that followed, Eric never contacted me. He disappeared, no matter how I tried to reach him. At the same time, I also felt that Julian was giving me special attention. He spent a lot of time with me and always tried to keep me in good spirits to focus on work. Once, I saw Eric was being tagged in a girl's photo on Instagram. They seemed to be very close. Immediately, my jealousy flared up. I called Eric and asked him to explain everything. Contrary to my anger, Eric was very cold and said that she was just a friend. Not only that, but he also compared them with me and Julian. Once again, we heatedly argued. I love you, but you're a jerk when you can't appreciate it. I angrily yelled at my boyfriend, then hung up the phone. It was so horrible that our relationship was broken like that. That night, I was so depressed that I decided to go to a bar for a drink. Just then, Julian called me. After learning the address of my bar, he was immediately there. I sadly recounted everything that happened. Forget that sucker. He's just pulling you back. You should start over with someone who's willing to treat you right, Julian said, and suddenly kissed me. Although feeling drunk, I still tried to push him away. At that moment, the atmosphere between the two of us became quite awkward. Let's just be friends, okay? I mustered up the courage to speak to Julian. He smiled and nodded in agreement. I sighed and quickly let it go. A few days later, I suddenly received a text from Eric. He sounded very serious when he said he wanted to meet with me to talk. I agreed to meet him after the launch party of the brand I represented. Eric promised that when the event was over, he would be there to pick me up. That day, while I was at the party, suddenly, everyone's attention was on the hotel lobby. Out of curiosity, I quickly followed them. When I got there, I was shocked to see Eric beating Julian badly. I rushed over to stop them. What the hell are you doing, Eric? I angrily scolded my boyfriend. Be honest, you betrayed me for him, right? Let's break up. I'm too tired of this. So that's what Eric came here for? He just wanted to end things between us? Fine, we're over, I angrily shouted. Right after that, Eric turned to leave. I took Julian to a quiet place to take care of his wound and inquire about everything that had just happened. He said that the moment Eric saw him, he rushed to attack him. Oh gosh, maybe Julian was right. Eric was too childish and selfish. I sighed in frustration and felt sorry for my relationship with Eric. After that day, my ex-boyfriend and I officially broke up. Julian was also bolder when he flirted with me. He often gave me expensive gifts and invited me to dinners. We quickly became a couple. Since then, my workload has also increased since Julian signed many projects. I was also exhausted from traveling too much and had no time for myself. Focus on work, darling. It's good for you. He always reminded me about that. One day, Julian threw a party to celebrate his promotion. Since there was a promotional shoot overseas, I told him that I couldn't attend the party. However, it was an important occasion for my boyfriend, so I tried to arrange work and leave early to give Julian a surprise. In the distance, I saw Julian chatting with some of his close friends. I secretly approached them to give them a surprise, when suddenly I overheard their conversation. How's it going with your cow girlfriend? One of them asked my boyfriend. Vicky, she's still making a lot of money for me. Julian smirked scornfully. How do you control her? I also want a chick that lays golden eggs for my company, with a little trickery and a charming look. She's too stupid. I was shocked at what I heard. Turns out, Julian didn't love me at all. The only thing he loved was my money-making skin. Julian used my conflict with my boyfriend to divide us and turned me into a slave for his company. Eric was actually about to come back to me, but Julian stopped that. During the party that day, he deliberately provoked Eric, which caused him to go crazy. Julian played with me from the very beginning. I angrily took the nearby wine glass and stormed towards Julian. "Go to hell, bastard!" I threw the wine in his face and left the party. After all of this, I've matured. I learned to love myself and not to trust others too much. Not long after that, I looked for Eric and told him everything. Our misunderstanding has been cleared up, but we both decided to go our own ways. We need time to mature and complete ourselves. I'm currently continuing with my modeling work. I hope to use my fame and my special skin condition to send empowering and valuable messages to the world. Always love who you are. She looks like a dairy cow. Oh my God, I swear. I'll end myself if I become as ugly as her. I tried to walk away from everyone's scrutiny and sarcasm. When I couldn't take it anymore, I rushed to the bathroom and cried. Mom lied. I'm not a princess. I'm a monster. Hello, my name is Vicky. I was born with vitiligo, a long-term skin condition characterized by patches of the skin losing their pigment, causing patchy white spots all over the body. When I was a kid, my mom used to point at my reflection in the mirror and told me to be confident with my appearance. She said that every girl on this earth was a beautiful princess. However, when I was growing up, I realized that she was only trying to comfort me so that I wouldn't be sad because I have a special skin condition. And when she passed away, nobody ever gave me compliments anymore. Since then, I became timid and lacked confidence. Because of my skin, I became the target of bullying at school. I was always called by unpleasant names like dairy cow or zebra. Students often edited pictures of me and posted them online, or used vulgar words to tease me every time I walked in the hallway. There was even a time when a guy intentionally used black paint to stain my white gym uniform. They wanted to make me a laughing stock to the whole school. How evil! However, even though I was treated unfairly, I was always friendly with everyone. All I want is just to have a normal life like every other girl. But sadly, not a single person wanted to be my friend. In their eyes, I was a freak. Once during history class, our teacher asked us to pair up to do an exercise. While I didn't know who to team up with, suddenly, Carolyn, one of the most popular girls in school, approached me. "Hey, Vicky, do you want to be teamed up with me?" Of course. I stammered at her unexpected offer. No one had taken the initiative to talk to me before. Carolyn was extremely friendly. She even invited me to her birthday party that next weekend. It was the first time I was invited to a party, so I nodded immediately. Then suddenly, Carolyn let out a long sigh. "But I'm afraid this stupid history test will ruin my party. I can't do both at the same time." "Don't worry, I'll help you. I can complete this alone." Seeing my friend in trouble, I immediately offered to help. Carolyn was very happy. She thanked me and said I just saved the party. That whole week, I was drowning in homework. Almost all of my time was spent in the library. But when I thought about being invited to the party, I felt very happy. And in the end, my hard work paid off. I helped Carolyn and myself get an A on our history assignment. And the birthday party was held as originally planned. That day, I chose my best outfit and carefully wrapped gifts for Carolyn. Following the address she gave me, I took a taxi there. But when I got there, I was shocked to realize that Carolyn had given me a fake address. There was no party at all. It was not even her house. When I went to Carolyn's Instagram, I found out that everyone was happily partying somewhere else. Immediately, I called her, but she harshly replied, "Dummy, you really think I invited you to a party? I just wanted to use you for my homework." Carolyn's laughter was like knives stabbing my heart. I walked back home in despair. I angrily threw my gift for Carolyn away. But unexpectedly, the gift box flew straight into the head of a nearby passerby, causing him to fall to the ground. "Oh my God, are you okay?" I rushed over to help him. Fortunately, he was okay, but the camera around his neck appeared to have been badly damaged. "Look at what you did. Are you out of your mind?" His scolding, combined with my own unstable mood, made my emotions explode. I burst into tears, which made him utterly panicked. After he tried to soothe me, and I had calmed down a little, we started chatting. The other guy introduced himself as Eric, a photography student. He was very kind. After knowing my story, he took the time to comfort me. "Thank you, and I'm sorry again about your camera. Please send me the bill after you get it fixed." Although Eric didn't ask for it, I still wanted to compensate him for the camera and gave him my phone number. Since then, the two of us have become closer. Eric and I spent a lot of time talking every night. For him.